All praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Koholor Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom Labaharium. All right, Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, which is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Bahashim, which means in the name of. Yahweh Shai is the name of the only begotten Son, who was sent to deliver the children of Israel from their sins. Bashim Rakakwadash means the name of the Holy Spirit, which is the volume of the book. All right, the Spirit of truth. All right, which will help us endure, the persecution that's to come. All right, just like our fathers aforetime, and foremothers, okay, suffered because of their faith, because of their boldness, all right, because of their, religion, if you will, for our customs and our culture, all right. There was many persecutions of our people in ancient times, all right, and there's going to be another persecution to come. All right. And what that persecution is going to do, just like in old time, is going to effect more believers to come into the fold. All right. And that's what you had during the time of Constantine. That's what I want to get into. All right. During the time of Constantine, well, prior to Constantine, which we're going to read. Okay. You had heavy persecution, starting with Yahweh Shai. Let's start with that time frame. All right. When Yahweh Shai was on the scene, okay, he was persecuted. All right. The scriptures tell you, what did he say? He said, the servant is not greater than his master. All right. So when Yahweh Shai was persecuted, it was a shadow of what would happen to the church for believing in Yahweh Shai. All right. You had the Pharisees, the Sadducees. All right. When you read Acts the 4th chapter, Acts the 5th chapter, where the disciples who later would turn apostles were jailed, beaten. Oh, you had James, the so-called lesser, all right, was actually put to death by Herod. Okay, that's recorded in the scriptures. All right, that he was a Hebrew Israelite. All right, James, the brother of John. Okay, he was put to death by Herod, and when you read Romans the 12th chapter, Acts the 12th chapter. Okay, so those things happened back then. And what did it do? It boosted the faith of the elect because it showed that those men were willing to die for righteousness. Okay, you have the examples in the Maccabees, which I want to get a few. Okay, and you're gonna have it now. All right, we're coming in a time where there's going to be a heavy persecution for the word of the Lord, the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, so yesterday I was checking out this page, Zadok. I don't know who this brother is. Shalom to him. All right. Zadok Amram, Salvation 144. And then I came across this video that's on his page. And the other day I did a video on Charleston White. All right. And I call him Stink Meter. All right. He reminds you of Stink Meter. If you've seen Boondocks, you know what I'm talking about. All right. But I did a video on Stink Meter the other day, and I was, kind of bigging him up because he made some points about church and pastors and how they're fraud and things of that nature. But I didn't know that he was coming up against Israel. He was, popping, off at the lip, scorning. He was scoffing at Israel, and I was talking to the brothers, the elder brother Karata Zaba, and they were telling me about it or whatever. He wound up flagging the brother's video, and this dude, Stink Meter, Charleston White, actually flagged the video, the elder brother Karata Zaba video. He was telling me that, so this dude's a real demon, and he says some things in this video. He's cold, man. Me personally, I don't mind a nigga. A nigga gonna be a nigga, like he said. That's why the scripture say, I'd rather you cold or hot. He's cold. He chooses to be on the left-hand side, and let him be. All right, everybody got to play their part. All right, nonetheless, so I clicked this video just to see what he had to say about Israel. He said, he's, talking that nigga shit as he usually does, but then he said some intriguing things. So let's check it out real quick.
Ignorant motherfucking nigga playing smart, talking shit, and that can fuck like the government. All that other shit you niggas talking about, he ain't no Hebrew kill no white man. Ain't no Hebrew ever raped no white woman.
You're wrong, Mr. White. All right. You even had King Saul, who is a Hebrew from the tribe of Benjamin, a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. All right. They would drag Edomites to the cliffs and throw them off. All right. That's the heritage of the Hebrew Israelites. All right.
I'm down with raping and killing white folks, nigga. Yeah. Ain't no Hebrew came and they wasn't no DC snipers. Man, you Hebrew niggas ain't never done shit for us. So why
Right.
the fuck?
And so the thing about it is that we're not carnal, man. All right. We're waiting for Yahweh Shai to return. Okay. All right. When Yahweh Shai returns, he's coming to put all those different kingdoms down. But let's get to the point.
What I proclaim and profess to be something that's weak in a motherfucker as a goddamn black ass Hebrew Israelite that ain't got nothing, won't do nothing to nobody, and hooping and hollering, talking about what they is. Die for it then.
It reminds me of the scripture that says, wait ye upon me till I rise to the prey. All right. Let me get that real quick. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 8, which is prophecy. Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day I rise up to the prey. For my determination to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour out them mine indignation and all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be divided with the fire of my jealousy. That's Yahweh Shah coming back with the heavenly host. All right, so-called UFOs. All right, to put down all kingdoms so that the elect, all right, starting with Yahweh Shai, King David, will rule on the earth over all the other nations and establish the law of Moses, as what you call it, to be the law of the earth. Okay? So I just want to read that real quick. Let's go back.
Nigga, fuck you talking about die. For it go 50 Hebrews get up and die today. Show us. Nigga, other than that. So you talking like the rest of these motherfuckers.
See? You heard what he said? All right. You heard what he said? He said, go die. Show us. You know? Which what he's saying is something that's going to happen again. All right. What he's saying is something that happened in times past. All right.
Boy, go 50 Hebrews get up and die today. Show us. Nigga, other than that. So you talking like the rest of these motherfuckers.
See? But what Mr. White doesn't understand, all right, stink meaner, what he doesn't understand is that the Most High is going to be with those individuals, just like our forefather Stephen. Okay? So when those men are brought to the trial, okay, of being tested for their faith, the Most High is going to put the Holy Spirit on them so that they will be able to endure that. All right? Let me read this real quick. This is the book of Revelation chapter 20 and verse 4. It says, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that will be beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image. And that's another thing that we could point out. All right, there's a reward, because you got all these different activists, you got all these different, groups that are established in America, going back to Martin Luther King. Hey, you can go back to Marcus Garvey, man. Okay, you could go back to him, and he wanted to get boats and go back to Africa and do those particular. Them men, and you had a lot of people die behind that, persecuted by the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover. Okay. But they died in vain because of that, because there's a reward for dying for the truth. So let me start up a little higher. Verse 3, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set up a seal upon him that should be, he deceived the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. And we're in that season now where that devil, all right, came out of Europe and has ruled over the earth with his lies. All right, Esau, Edom. And I saw thrones and they that sat upon them. This is something else that John the Revelator saw. And judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years. Okay, so that's the promise, all right, for putting your life on the line for the truth and dying for the truth and being a martyr and being beheaded for the truth. All right, he's saying it like, oh, I'm gonna see 50 men die like there's not like that would be to none effect. Okay, so the other thing that happened was when he said that, it made me think of Constantine and the time frame and that time frame, because again, that did happen back then. Okay, and this is Wikipedia. All right, I want to make sure I'm in the right area. Constantine the Great and Christianity. Okay, and this part is noted. The part I want to get is where it says, okay, before Constantine. Okay, and I'm going to read these pretty much this first paragraph and a part of this second, so bear with me. It says the first recorded official persecution of Christians on behalf of the Roman Empire was in AD 64, when, as reported by the Roman historian Tacitus, Emperor Nero attempted to blame Christians for the Great Fire of Rome, right? And we believe that Nero may be back in office real soon, aka Donald Trump. Okay, Charleston White's man. That's him. That's Charleston White's man. All right, it's all good though. It says what? According to church tradition, it was during the reign of Nero that Peter and Paul were martyred in Rome. However, modern historians debate whether the Roman government distinguished between Christians and Jews, check that out, prior to Nerva's modification of the Fiscus Judaicus in 96. All right, so let me read this part again. However, modern historians debate whether the Roman government distinguished between Christians and Jews. Why? Because the Christians were the Jews. All right, you just had the Jews that wanted to stay and keep the old way of sacrifice and, uphold the law above the salvation of Yahushua. All right, when you had the Christians, okay, that were standing on business, if you will, and representing Yahushua to the fullest. So there was a full out persecution on whether you believe in Yahushua or you didn't. Okay? It says, from which point practicing Jews paid the tax and Christians did not, right? So check this out. It says Christians suffered from sporadic and localized persecutions over a period of 2.5 centuries. Their refusal to participate in the imperial cult was considered an act of treason and was thus punishable by execution, right? And that's what we're coming down to. All right, we're about to enter into a season on if you truly believe in this word, you're going to have to stand on that. Okay? Because Esau Edom is coming with a policy to have it to where if you don't get down with their belief system and receive his mark, like it said in Revelations 20:4, that there's going to be consequences. And I'm going to show you that the Roman Empire, they did it before. Check this out, right? It says that the most widespread official persecution was carried out by Diocletian beginning in 303 during the Great Persecution. The emperor ordered Christian buildings and homes of Christians torn down and their sacred books collected and burned. Right? Christians were arrested, tortured, mutilated, burned, starved, and condemned to gladiatorial contests to amuse spectators, which these individuals were Israelites, Diocletian and, the tetrarchs. All right, when you look up Diocletian, all right, these Diocletian and these guys were Israelites. They were actually so-called black men that were ruling during the Roman Empire. All right. You have the Eastern Roman Empire and you have the Western Roman Empire. Bear with me a second. Let's add another one. No. There we go. All right. When you look at these pictures of, okay, these are the tetrarchs. All right. You can see the features. They were Israelites. You see the nose is knocked off, the woolly beard. Okay. These were the individuals that were ruling Rome at the time. All right. Roman Emperor Diocletian in 293 AD to govern the ancient Roman Empire by dividing it between two empires, the Augusti and their junior colleagues and designated successors of the Caesars. All right. There you go. All right. Now, he was one of them. All right. He was prior to Constantine, as we're reading. Okay. So let's go back. It says the most widespread official persecution was carried out by Diocletian beginning in 303. During the Great Persecution, the emperor ordered Christians, buildings, and homes. And we read that, right? Now, even though these dudes was Israelites, they were worshiping pagan gods, pagan deities. All right, I'll show you that in the Last Kingdom. But I want to show you something else, how this happened in history of our people. Okay? This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 54. Now, on the 15th day of the month Caslu, in 145th year, they set up an abomination of desolation upon the altar and built idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side and burnt incense at the doors of the houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire. And whosoever was found with the book of the testament or in any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. Thus did they their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. Now the 25th day of the month they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of the Most High. All right, so there's no new thing under the sun. Now, again, this is the juicy part. All right. So you have that, right? Now check this out. This is an article. Now, this article I'm going to leave in the description. And brothers and sisters can read this if you like. All right. I'm gonna go through it. Now, this is some heavy stuff right here. It says, after a long, this is The Martyrs, it's entitled. This is by Wayne A. Meeks, Woosley Professor of Biblical Studies, Yale University. After a long period in which persecutions of Christianity were really spasmodic, local, and involved very few people, suddenly in the middle of the 3rd century, the year 250, the Emperor Decius decides that Christians are a real enemy of the Roman order, that they must be dealt with empire-wide, with all the police power that the emperor can bring to bear upon them. And he issues a decree that everyone has to sacrifice to the Roman gods, and they must produce a certificate signed by a Roman official that they have done so. Why did this happen? So, if, in other words, there was a law put out and an announcement put out saying that everybody had to sacrifice to another god. Okay? And furthermore, why would they do that if these were regular Greeks? No, because they were Israelites. All right? And they knew that by them doing this is them disobeying their God. All right? That's for one. For two, this is very reminiscing of Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. Okay? That's what that tag is going to be. That's what that mark is going to be. It's going to be a certificate saying that you basically sacrifice unto another god. Not Christianity, not nothing else. That's going to be the certificate is going to be digital to say that you're in league with another god. And you're going to be able to commute and move along in society with that tag, with that mark. All right? So this is the Emperor Decius certificate. It says the edict ordered that everyone in the empire, with the exception of Jews, must sacrifice and burn incense to the gods and the well-being of the emperor in the presence of a Roman magistrate, and get a written certificate called a libellus that this had been done, signed by the magistrate and witness. All right? This is Revelation chapter 13. Okay? And I'm going to start at verse 14. It says, and deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they shall make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. All right? And you can see when you understand prophecy that during the time of the wound, that deadly wound of the Roman Empire, they were doing the same thing. Verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast, which the image of the beast is what? The philosophy of modern day Rome, which is going to be introduced through something called the New World Order. That as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a certificate, all right, in their right hand or in their foreheads, man. And no man might buy or sell, meaning you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to commune in society or do commerce in society if you don't have this new certificate that they're going to tag people with. All right? He that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, which is all encompassed within that tag, all encompassed under that bio-digital device. Okay? Something else I want to bring out real quick. I brought this out before. All right, this is third Maccabees, the second chapter. All right, and I believe the point. Let's go to. Right, let's start at verse 25. Now this is talking about Ptolemy Philopator right? And the persecution of the Alexandrian Jews, right? Which I got this from the so-called scholars as well, showing you that they know what's up when it comes to Revelation 13 and 16, because this is a precept in my study Bible. To Revelation 13:16, verse 25, it says, when he had returned to Egypt, he added to his evil deeds with the assistance of his drinking companions and friends who were strangers to everything just, meaning they abhorred righteousness. He wasn't satisfied with his innumerable indecent acts, but he also, because they were sacrificing swine's flesh in the temple, okay? But he also advanced to such a degree of impudence that he circulated false reports in the various districts. Many of his friends took note of the king's purpose and followed his lead. He proposed to spread blame publicly against the Jewish nation, right? Persecution again. He set up a stone near the tower in the courtyard with the following inscription carved upon it, right? None who refused to sacrifice to enter into their sanctuaries. In addition, all the Jews are to be registered and their property cataloged. Okay? Meaning all your possessions, everything that you own has to be documented. Same thing that happened with Augustus and I believe Luke the 3rd chapter. All right? The decree of Augustus. Those who object are to be taken by force and put to death. Those who are registered are to be branded on the body by fire with the ivy leaf sign of Dionysus, and are also to be assigned to their former limited civic status. Okay? So if you wanted to participate in society, you had to register all your goods, your well-being, your persons, if you will. And once you complied, you got a brand on your body to show forth that you were a part of that system. Doesn't that sound familiar? Verse 30, but so as not to seem hateful to all, he added, but if any of them should prefer to join those who have been initiated into the mysteries, these are to enjoy political rights equal to the Alexandrians. Now, some Jews, while pretending to detest the steps to be undertaken for the city's religion, readily surrendered themselves to share in great fame through the association they would have with the king. All right? And stink meat are going to be one of them. You could tell that's a nigga that's going to put his he going to get one on his right hand and on his forehead. He might get one on his left pinky toe, if you will. All right? Just to say, I'm down, nigga. I'm down, homie. All right? But yeah, man. Furthermore, that's the point, man. I just wanted to show the history, all right, of the early persecutions of the church and how it's a foreshadowing thing that's to come. All right? Because the same way this man, this beast, all right, the Edomite structure and rule conducted their persecutions against the church back then, the believers of Yahushua back then, they're going to do the same thing again. All right, but this time it's going to be through biometrics. All right? Call Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Kakwadash. Shalom.